We should probably start doing a formal attendance too.
Yeah, maybe leave out a little sign-in sheet. I know you said something about that.
Okay, it's 5:31. I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Minutes from last meeting?
Look good to me.
Yep, look good to me.
Me too. Move to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? That's 3 yeas.
All right.
Okay. Ryan, what you got?
Couple things. I'm trying to pull it up here. I think everything at the high school station is done. I don't know if we've got a final bill for that yet or not.
The lift station out there is done?
Yeah, everything's done. Generator, to my knowledge, is finished, hooked
Okay.
up. Its sign's been put back up. I don't know how he got the grass to grow so fast, but it's growing grass. I don't know. Between all the straw he had out there.
Couldn't beat the beginning of school last year or this year.
So he did get it. That's done. I'm assuming once the grass is finalized, but I'm waiting. We should get a final bill here at some point in time.
Okay.
The well was finished today. It was put back online. They passed. Finally, the test passed Thursday and Friday last week. They had to come in and research the well a couple times with some chlorine, but it passed Thursday, Friday. They put it down today. That way, hopefully we're done before football season gets in there. John will go out and re-level the ground here this week, hopefully, and we'll be back to full service out there.
What was wrong with that?
The pitless adapter was bad inside there. We replaced it, like 7 years ago? And yeah. I think last time they did the check valve, it just didn't seat in there properly. And that's what ended up happening. So they said it's going in nice and smooth, everything within like it was supposed to. So hopefully it cures our problem. So we were doing a little over 400 gallons a minute through it today. So the water plant is back to full force. We were down a well, but we're back up to running full force. So and then as most of you know, we had a leak last week. On Tuesday, Wednesday, we lost about 600,000 gallons of water is what we dumped. So it was in the storm line. It was the water main for some reason went right through the center of the storm line. And it was on the 3-inch plastic that services Maumee Center Road. So that's what was busted. I did order some spare 3-inch parts. It's not something that a lot of people carry. It's an odd size water pipe. I happen to have some dealing because we have Havenwood out there. We did have some on hand. So it's back to fix the way it would be any other time. But I did order some more spare parts in case we run into something like this again somewhere else, because nobody had any parts that wouldn't have been here a week out. So I just think that was very acceptable. So we just happen to have parts here that we're able to use.
Good.
So.
Good. Thank you guys again. We're very fortunate to have you guys. When something like that happens, emergency happens, you guys fix it. And no matter what time, no matter what day it is, we appreciate it.
It was just, we couldn't find it. That was our biggest thing. It didn't service, it didn't come up, it just didn't show up. Other than we were just losing a lot of water. So.
Do we have any road repairs that are needed? Did we have to dig into any?
We repaired it the following day in the afternoon. We repaired everything back. It was still pretty good today, actually. So basically, we compacted it all the way up. All the way up through it. So but it should be good. We were going to put a valve in there, but we decided not to. We didn't want the trucks driving over it and crushing it, and pushing that line down anymore because it was already in a cut hole. It moves, so, and it's right in the drive lane, so.
Well, from what I can tell, the residents have been appreciative also of you guys notifying them.
Yeah, I wish
I
didn't get Maumee Center notified early. Just didn't know if they were off too. I mean, worry about finding everything else, and
That was an entire area outside the city too.
Yeah, but I did go back, I talked to them all that evening and told them what was going on, so they were appreciative. Now with that being, we do have a leak out there where we originally dug.
Mhm.
The ground was wet, that's the reason we dug where we originally dug at. It is running water, it has been since we buried everything back together, but we figured we'll tackle that. It's right in the center of that guy's driveway, so, but we should have left it open. Well, after we did the main repair, it didn't dawn on us that, hey, maybe there's two, but after we put everything back together and I went back out the following day, it's wet out there.
Hmm.
So there is a leak there where we originally dug, but, so, we'll get that fixed up too, so. But our water production is down, thank goodness. We were over 300 averaging, now we're down below the 300 mark averaging, so. We are down, so I don't know how long it was leaking, I really don't.
Mm.
So, could have been just that day, it could have been longer than that, I don't know.
Oh,
So,
okay.
it was dumped right in the storm line, so we would have never seen it,
Hmm.
so. Ashler Point's water testing, we did some of that today on the short leg out there. They've got the water and sewer put in on Ashler Point on the short leg, so pressure test passed today. Mommy Meadows they're gonna start tomorrow on the water over there. I don't know if they'll make it to get it pressurized or not, but they're gonna start filling it with water tomorrow, so that one's moving right along too, so
Okay.
they're wanting to do all that this week, so.
They're moving along. I know they're out there every day.
Yeah, and cold storage is planning on doing theirs this week, also doing the tie-in this week, so they are gonna be running a 8-inch line off of the water main back to their building. They will have a private fire hydrant there, and I requested them for it red. I know it came in red, so they have a red fire hydrant sitting back there for their private one. So
Okay.
Do I need to talk to Scott Parker about that then?
probably.
About annual maintenance on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I really don't, when we do it, I don't mind if, if he doesn't mind, I will do it, just, he's aware if it's private, whatever. I mean, it's one hydrant's not really making much of a difference.
Yeah, no, not one.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a bunch of them, it'd be, but this is one, it's not gonna make that much of a difference.
Okay.
But when we were doing it, it was better to do it that way versus him giving us the easement for the water main up there. So just,
Mhm.
we decided to leave it that way.
How about, is there any changes needed at Gerber's project?
No, I think it's all, I think he's moving ahead. The only question that came up is the sewer tap. I know there's not one there, they will need to pay a sewer tap, so I don't know who's paying that. The water's there, but there is no sewer tap for that building,
Mm.
because there was no sewer main out that far before, so.
So, do they have to tap in they have to go under the road?
No,
No.
it's on the sewer's on their side, so
Okay.
it's not like it's a big deal, but theoretically, they should be paying a sewer tap, so. And I do believe in that, the contractor know, so.
Okay.
Then the other question that came up this week, or last week, is the occasions downtown.
Mm-hmm.
They are putting a kitchen in, but not a full kitchen. It's only for, like, basically cleanup and stuff like that, for any,
So
they
it's
have to
not,
have a kitchen if they're gonna serve alcohol out there.
okay.
The question came in is whether they need to put a grease trap in or not. And I told them I'd come here, I'll defer to the county also. I don't know if they need to or not, they're not cooking grease and stuff out of there.
Is it just sinks and,
Yeah, the way
refrigerators?
she's out, there's a sink, they had to have it if they're gonna have a bar
Mhm.
style thing to serve food out, all their food is planned to be catered in and catered right back out. Everything
Okay.
comes in and out. It's just more for their bar area, and they had to have a kitchen area, so. I told them I'd bring it up here, see what your guys' feelings were on that.
if they're not gonna cook anything, I'm not,
Yeah, that's where I was kinda leaning at too, I didn't really, it's not, if they start cooking out of there, then yeah, they're gonna put one in, maybe we reserve that right. If
Yeah, I
we
think
decide
we
to start
put
cooking out of there
something-
eventually,
Yeah,
someone else buys it and starts cooking out of there,
we've gotta have something in there saying that if any food or anything, if we start seeing grease coming out of there,
yeah,
yeah.
then we gotta put something in there about that. Cause you know what'll happen.
Oh, yeah,
They'll get a sink in there and then, we're gonna,
and then they'll start dumping.
we'll do some food and oh, we'll just dump it down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
You hope
You're
it
right.
doesn't happen, but you know,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's so the way she was making it sound. I was like, I don't think they're gonna be able to just bring it here and talk about it and go from there. So.
Well, will the county, require a grease trap?
I think Kevin from the county was gonna, me and him talk back and forth. He was gonna wait till after this meeting and I'll talk to him. If what we want, he would force them if we wanted them to. And it's like, I don't know if we will or not, but he said he would force it if we wanted them to.
Is there, in our ordinances, if they're cooking and they said they weren't cooking, but they start cooking and they don't have a grease trap, would there be a fine? Something like that?
Yeah, I would assume our ordinance, because they're not allowed to dump grease, no one really is.
Yeah.
Our ordinance does specify that stuff, if it becomes testing too high.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought we had something in there when we were dealing with Bob's.
yeah,
So, yeah, we need to remind them of that.
yeah, I'll talk to them and, Gary, I kept Gary at the county, let him know that, as long as they're not gonna cook out of there, we're okay with it as is, but if they start cooking, they pulled their permit for something else, they gotta put a grease trap in, so.
Okay. Yep.
I think that's all I have.
I have a question for you. And I was just driving by the old house that Loves used to own. It's all grass now. I was
It's all gone.
amazed. It's all gone. Did they have a separate service there? Has it been shut off? I mean,
Yes, it's all been capped.
their account's been closed for
Yep.
that separate?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the water was cut off at the curb box, and the sewer was capped at the main.
Okay.
Well, just about a foot up from the main, so, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
Why'd they tear that down?
Yeah, I don't know.
Loves was forced to kind of buy the house, I think, originally, and I don't think they probably didn't want to be in the landlord business, so they probably just decided to tear it down.
Just sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they bought it because the person who lived there was complaining, I do believe. Originally was complaining, so,
Oh.
yeah, and that was one of the deals, they bought it just
Yeah.
to be, done with it.
just to quiet them up. And
Mhm.
Okay.
I noticed they didn't tear the garage down, but they tore the house down.
Yeah, they want to keep the garage for the mower.
This email from Ian Stull. Is this an agreement we have to sign?
Is that the one I gave you?
The one that came from Ian Stull. I think the one I printed. Looks like it.
Didn't I put one in your box?
Yeah, you did.
I think that's the same one.
The same one. Okay, that's what I thought.
I do believe.
That's what I thought. That's the one. Seemed like there was a cover letter on it. So, do we need a signature from us or just me?
I think it's
or
just you.
Just me. Okay. All right. That's for the study. All right. You have anything else for Ryan?
Not for Ryan, no.
Anything for Ryan? Okay. With the police department, I think we need to start talking about, with budget talks, I think we need to start talking about, the potential of needing another officer, either part-time or full-time. I guess our part-time officers are lucky if they have 30 hours in 2 weeks each, is what you were saying?
Yeah, it's about that.
Time. So I don't know if, it's gonna get, I'm sure it's gonna get busier with more people here. So it should be a debate whether we want to hire another part-time officer or have three full-timers, including the chief, And I didn't mean to skip over you, I'm thinking about another utility worker too.
Yeah,
It's
30,
gonna-
35, 25. This
Is
one's
it,
a little
what do we have? They're
13.
supposed to be 20 a week, aren't they? 20 hours a week?
Can't exceed 29 hours in the pay period.
Yeah, I can't remember the number, but yeah,
It's 29, unless you gotta pay
24.
benefits.
29, yeah, cause over 30 is considered full-time now, yeah.
So some of them creep forward, 32, 37, 24, 33,
Those are
32.
2-week periods.
Pay
That's a 2-week
periods, yeah.
period.
2-week periods,
Yeah,
Is
so,
that considered a pay period, 2-week period?
yeah, so I mean, they may work like 4 shifts every 2 weeks.
It's a
somewhere.
Fair Labor Standard Act. The city of New Haven follows it to a
Where
T.
are we with the officer that's hurt?
Officer that's hurt is, the claim was denied. I don't know a prognosis of how long, that officer is gonna be off. I'm sure I'll get an update from the chief about that. I have no problems, he's been a great officer, I have no problems with him coming back when he gets all of his health issues figured out. That said, kind of what brought up the conversation of another officer was, hey, he's gonna be gone, and if we're not going to replace him for a while, at least, if we want to have him come back, it might be a good idea to get that other position in, for the next, at least for the next year's budget, if not this year. Because we're not paying him right now, we could hire another officer and budget for another officer next year, so.
Do we have we'll have the funds for another officer next year?
I'm sure we do. We didn't really talk about that, but the extra tax revenue, more tax revenue coming in for the new homes won't really show for a couple of years because
Okay.
we'll have to do that other study for the county auditor to bring up our population and move the tax rate to where it's supposed to be with the new population. So we'll be short on the money end as far as paying additional staff for a couple of years, but that will come back
It'll all
once
come
we,
back in
yeah.
once we,
But I think with more people are moving in now, I think we need to have that extra help, and I'm sure you're gonna need the extra help, especially, next summer comes in, you're gonna have more homes to deal with and the same amount of mowing to do, I just think it's something we need to head off at the pass ahead of time as the city grows. That said, speaking of growing, the hydrant situation, I asked Baker Tilly to look at it for me, and the person that said he was going to look into it and let me know what the price was gonna be was Ian Stahl, and I just found out today that he left Baker Tilly Friday, so he never got back with me. So I want to look into hiring that other financial advisor that we have used before and the territory used. I believe they give a more personal touch. Baker Tilly is I have no issues with their work, but I don't think we have the personal touch that we need with Baker Tilly. And I wanna look into a different advisor to take care of some of these issues. I also think it would be necessary to look into the higher sewer rate for outside the city as well.
yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Do we have to do a survey or
Yeah, we'd have to. Fiscal study, financial study, oh my God, it seems
All
like that's
stupid
all we do is
stuff.
financial studies, fiscal studies, but it's necessary.
I think those studies cost so much money, it almost makes you change stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those costs would be included in the price
Mhm.
change,
Yeah.
the cost change. It's overdue. I mean, as we grow, I think, it's becoming more and more costly to serve people way out of the city, I think.
it's definitely not gonna get any cheaper.
No, it's not. I mean,
If we have to do upgrades or anything like that,
mhm.
where are we on the, Havenwood out there? Is their system, water lines and stuff?
All their water lines are just all plastic and whatever. I mean, we hooked up to their system. So far, we've been
Okay.
lucky.
Is that they're paying, if it breaks,
We pay.
we pay?
It's been given to us, yeah. City's owns the sewer lines and the sanitary lines. Do not do anything with the storm out there. That's the county. And we've
We'll
realigned,
go back up, you said the water and
sewer.
sewer, stormwater is county.
We relined all the storm lines, all the sanitary lines out there have been relined. Manholes were all done at one point in time. And then the laterals have not been done out there though. But the lift station's getting it to its life expectancy, pumps wise, we'll be replacing those here shortly.
How many are out there?
They're just two, they're not super expensive pumps, I mean, in the scheme of things. So, they're probably gonna be, $5,000 or $6,000 pumps, so. Versus the $20,000 and $30,000 ones.
What's our rate from the city to, what do we charge them out there?
Same
Do
as the
we know?
city,
Same as the city, except for water is more,
water's 10% more,
25,
25%
25.
more.
Yep. Yep, water's 25% more, so sewer's the same.
Yeah, sewer was taken away when their rates went really high. The city took the sewer away from it out there to bring them into the system. And the water just always stayed the same, so. Which I don't disagree, like we've said before, City of Woodburn residents pay for the water utility, sewer utility, and from tax funds for my side of it. Anybody outside the city only pays water and sewer, they're not paying the other third.
Right.
Which, it's,
Unless they annex in, then they won't have that.
because then you get their tax-based revenue,
Yep.
and then you collect that, and then you pay that, that's.
Yep.
My salary is split between three different things,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's overdue. That's overdue. Police department, we talked about, sorry, that led into a whole different conversation. We were looking into, as far as the city council side, we were looking into ordinances and fines that are city ordinances and the ability for Allen County to enforce them, Allen County. And the chief brought up a situation where we had a ordinance violation and it went to the court. I think the citizen fought it and the judge threw it out. Now, we took the understanding that it was because we didn't have a interlocal agreement with the county, with the county court system. I'm finding out that's not the case. It's because we needed the city, a city prosecutor to represent the city. Basically, our city attorney should have gone to that hearing. So if there's ever a city ordinance violation where it goes to Allen County Court, we have to send our city attorney with them. So that's what we're finding out.
So we do not need a interlocal agreement with the court?
And Allen County doesn't have one. They don't know of any need for one. So the only thing different New Haven doesn't have one. New Haven doesn't have one in Allen County. The only thing different with New Haven is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have an ordinance violations bureau. Don't know for sure, but I think they do. We don't have that. So I don't know how we would collect a fine here. It would have to go to court. It would have to be collected by Allen County.
So we gotta change our ordinance to say that our attorney fee will be part of the fine?
Yes, that's what we have to
Additional to
do.
the fine?
Is there a way to just is there a system that we could get that they could pay the fines through us?
We'd have to create I think it's called an ordinance violations bureau. So,
Who collects that, like Chris Keener? Does she, or the records collects that money at New Haven?
I don't know who collects that at New Haven. I'm almost 100% sure they have some sort of bureau where they can collect the fines, the city ordinance violations. A state violation like speeding, the Allen County prosecutor represents, the prosecutor represent.
Some sort of, I'm sure it's some sort of computer program or
Yeah.
online program,
Mhm.
and you're just in charge of the bureau of whatever.
We'd probably have to create the bureau by ordinance.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there would be you'd have to have a separate fund for that in
Mhm.
the system too, don't know. But yeah, I think that's something we need to look into. Gosh, lots of things, lots of things. Lots of things.
I wonder how much trouble.
You
that's
still have to
gonna
have you still have to have our lawyer go and represent us at it, even if we had a board, right?
be. If they fought it, if they just
fought
wanted to pay the fine, we could have some sort of system set up here that they could just pay the fine probably online.
Yeah, how are we gonna know when they fight it? Do we get notice if they're gonna fight it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's something we'd have to work out, but I'm willing to move forward with those things. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Most definitely.
we're only growing, so,
Yeah,
I mean, more people you get, the more,
Yep.
we've been a pretty quiet little city for years and years, and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. We
hopefully it stays that way.
we
but
have been
Yep.
pretty quiet, and
At least we're not bringing, I mean, they're good priced homes, decent homes, so. Hopefully we won't get a bunch of,
yeah, I think they're decent priced homes. This is by the way, this is our first meeting with the city of Woodburn that is broadcast live on YouTube. By the way, so, and the reason why that is set up is because by state law, we have to have some sort of streaming ability to do that by the 1st of 2025. And Kevin was astute enough to get that set up ahead of time.
Well, yeah, it's not the best. I don't think they have any sort of criteria, so. Good enough.
Hey, I think we're meeting the obligations of the state. All right. So we went through the minutes. Anything you want to go over?
I don't have anything.
We need to sign minutes.
well, yeah.
So do you guys need to request to the council that you'd like to see funding for more staffing?
Yes. Yep. Because it would be, we'd have to add staff, and that would be passed through the ordinance
Yeah.
and everything, so, yep. All right. If you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else either.
Good.
Now.
Okay. Wasn't that enough? All right, move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?